Uh, I'm not there. Must be lagging. I'm here, but I'm not there.
It lags a little bit. You'll show up soon enough, inshallah.
Imam, can you see the screen for questions, or you want me to follow one or the other?
I can see I can follow the Facebook if you want to follow YouTube.
Okay.
All right, it's 6:01. You want to start?
Yeah, Bismillah. Go ahead, Sheikh.
All right, بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله حمدا كثيرا طيبا مباركا فيه والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء المرسلين وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. As always, we begin by sending or by praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and sending our peace and blessings on our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Jazakumullah khair for everyone who's joining us in our town hall. We have a bit of updates. We want to make sure that we share with the community, inshallah. Make sure you guys are aware of certain things. We know Eid is around the corner. Dhul Hijjah is about a week or so away. And so we have some related updates and conversations we want to have about what's going to be happening at RCM and how that will impact all of our community members, inshallah ta'ala. So, Brother Maher, are you going to start or am I going to start?
Yeah.
All right.
Welcome, everybody. Another reason, actually, we wanted to have this town hall is that our fiscal year actually is ending this month, July, and we start a new fiscal year in August. So it's a good time to check in with everybody and see how we're doing and see what do we have plans for next year, what we gonna offer different, and what ideas do we have in the community that we, to help us implement and serve better. So before we get started, if we can go to the next slide, we wanted to make sure that, I'm sure you all know who our board members are and who our staff, but some of you may be new to the community. So just wanted to share with you the names of the leadership group within RCM. The top 9 names are our esteemed board members who are working most of the time behind the scenes. And they're the ones who are really the trustees of RCM. The Imam is Imam Arshad, everybody knows, is our resident Imam. I'm serving right now, acting as executive director. Sister Fatima is our Ustada. Sister Lubna is the operation manager. Sister Shannon is the event and marketing coordinator, and Sister Rupina is also the office manager. And in addition to that, we have tens and tens of amazing volunteers that help us out and really make things happen. Alhamdulillah, we have an amazing community, and just wanted to share that with everybody, make sure that any newcomers at least get familiar with the names of who is who kind of on the leadership team. Let's go to the next slide. I put together an agenda. So like the Imam mentioned, a lot of new things happening. So we're going to start with the COVID-19 update, then an update about Eid al-Adha and the day of Arafah, so what activities we have planned, and those obviously are being impacted with the COVID-19. So the first 2 topics are intertwined, actually. We'll do a quick review of what has been accomplished with the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala this past year, this past fiscal year, which ends this month, and a quick update on the Vision 99 project. And then we can talk about new initiatives, new ideas, and your feedback. And that's where we would like to hear from everybody. Any new ideas, new things we can implement and add to our programs. And we'll open it up for questions, inshallah. And we're always available to hear your feedback and your questions. If we don't catch them here in this session, you feel free to email me or the Imam or any of our staff with your questions. All right, so with that, we'll start with a COVID-19 update. Imam, do you want to share with us maybe what operations we're doing now in the masjid for those who have not visited the masjid maybe in a while, and how is it going, and what new developments we have?
Yeah, inshallah ta'ala. So, alhamdulillah, we've been having 3 Juma Sessions every Friday now since we opened up. And we've got a lot of protocols in place. You can find them on our website, roswellmasjid.org, including making sure everyone that's coming in the building is registered with a QR code, so we know who was in the building when. This helps in our efforts if in case, if there's a positive tested case of coronavirus in our congregation, then we know who else was likely impacted. So we have the QR code registration as people are coming in, making sure everybody has to sanitize their hands, everybody has to have a face mask on, and everybody needs to get one of our disposable sheets for the sujood. We are not having people bringing their own prayer rugs. And again, this is something that we were doing based on advice off of experts. And so alhamdulillah, even within the musalla, we have spaces marked. I believe we have a maximum capacity of somewhere between 70 to 80 people, if I'm not mistaken. And so we've been doing this pretty successfully, alhamdulillah. But we have constantly been checking up with our experts on what's going on with the virus and the spread and the impact that it's having on our healthcare system and members of our community. And there is an update. We had a Atlanta-wide call last night, And based off of that, we're probably going to be making some adjustments to how we are doing our Jum'ah. The biggest one being is that not tomorrow, but from next week, we are going to be shifting to only one Jum'ah Salah, just one session of Jum'ah instead of the three that we have been doing now. One of the main reasons for that being the extremely high number of cases that are taking place, increase in hospitalizations and the healthcare system. And again, these are partly the reasons why we did shut down the masjid in the first place initially. And so in speaking with our experts, that while our procedures may be the right thing to do, we are still assuming a certain level of risk even with those procedures, because again, according to the experts, the absolute best way to prevent any kind of spread and be, from within our congregation is to not have a congregation. And so having three congregation actually just increases the risk as well. Your staff members, we have at least 5 staff members that are there on site, checking people in, making sure we're helping people, everybody register, etc. And your staff members are there for about more than 3 hours. And so again, that just increases the risk to everybody. And we don't have there's no need to assume that risk. So we're going to be cutting down, not from tomorrow, but from next week to one Jum'ah Salah, and that will be the 1:45 to 2 p.m. Jum'ah Salah. And we will share more updates after the weekend about how we are going to accommodate those that want to come to the prayer, because again, now we understand we're not going to be able to accommodate the large numbers that we were with 3 prayer services. And from a religious point of view, again, those that can make it, they will pray Jum'ah. Those that cannot, if they can pray Jum'ah somewhere else, then all they have to do is pray Salatul Dhuhr, and that is their fulfillment of their religious obligation. As Allah mentions in the Quran, He does not burden a soul beyond what it can bear, and these are extenuating circumstances. So this is understandable, but please do understand that we're doing this out of an abundance of caution and to lessen the risk to our staff and to our community members, inshallah ta'ala. So that's going to be the biggest change. Eid al-Adha is likely going to be on a Friday. That's where it's expected to fall right now. That is also another reason why having one Jum'ah might suffice, so that inshallah we can try to accommodate one Eid prayer as well. And that's something we'll share when Dhul Hijjah starts, more likely on July 22nd. It will be the first of Dhul Hijjah. But we're gonna make sure that if we can safely accommodate an Eid prayer, that we will do so. And otherwise, Eid might look like it did at the end of Ramadan, where people prayed their salah at home. But again, if that's what we have to do, then may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put barakah in it, inshallah. We will have, Brother Maher will share some more about some of the activities that we're trying to plan for the Eid time, inshallah ta'ala. But that is where we are right now with Jum'ah prayer. The biggest change being we're going to be cutting down to one and still maintaining strictly our policies and procedures, inshallah.
All right. Thank you, Imam. As the Imam mentioned, our intention really is to do everything we can to be protective of our community, but also to continue to have some services at the masjid. So currently we have the Fajr and Isha Salah, and that will continue, alhamdulillah. We have a steady group that comes in for those services. But for the Jum'ah, it's going to be cut down to one. And again, the goal is to be cautious enough so that we don't have to go to a phase of total shutdown. That's our intention, and that's what, our attempt of trying to keep things safe. As you all know, or some of you may know, some of the masajid around us have already had to shut down and have had some infections within their congregation. And we're trying to avoid a similar scenario. And may Allah help the community and grant those who were infected full shifa, inshallah. And I know some of them are still in the hospital on respirators actually, and they're trying to manage the disease. As you all know, it's really not an easy disease. It doesn't have a straightforward cure yet available. So that's our intention, is really to keep this as safe as possible, so we're avoiding a complete shutdown. And there may be a time where we'll have to go there, but we will follow continue to consult with the experts, and hopefully we'll avoid getting to that phase, and we'll go back to a positive trend hopefully soon. But it's really important that everybody helps us out and do their part. This is our responsibility as a whole, our responsibility as a community to continue to follow the protocols, to be protective, and to take care of our community. If we can go to the next slide. So for Eid, like the Imam mentioned, we're gonna try right now, and please follow our emails. Things are changing every day, and we're following the data, and there may be even changes to what we are proposing today. But for now, we're planning at least one Eid Salah, inshallah. And we're also planning a drive-through giving event where we can take advantage of the Eid, so that we can share some canned foods and dry foods, for to the poor. So we are going to be working with our partner North Fulton Charities and the food bank, and we'll have the barrels set up outside the masjid, and we can drive through. We can have whatever decorations in our car we'd like. For the Eid, it's going to be the day of Eid, and it's an excellent day to be generous and to think and do something about the less fortunate in our society. The day before Eid, Yom Arafah, is the day that is traditionally we at least fast that day. And so one of our partners actually is offering or sponsoring an iftar. So as of now, we're planning, we're likely to have a box iftar also for drive-through to pick up that evening, the day of Arafah, maybe like half an hour before Maghrib. So the families can drive through and pick up an iftar that is sponsored by one of our partners. That is, again, look for announcements through either social media or on email, and we will confirm these events. These are the events we have planned. We've actually planned a couple of more events, but based on the conversation yesterday that went on and the advice we got from the experts, we're having to scale back a little bit and kind of keep it for these. So we will have something going on for Eid for our families, but at the same time, we're not taking an extra added risk or exposing our community to risk or putting our community in a position where it becomes a vehicle to spreading more disease and more suffering to people. So inshallah, that'll be a good number of activities there. So we move forward. Like I mentioned, one of the reasons we wanted to have this meeting on this week is because of the end of the year, and the end of the fiscal year is July for us. So just a quick review again for those who may not be as familiar with everything else that goes on at RCM. Just a quick highlights of the year. Alhamdulillah, ABI is going strong. They have 20 students, and they should have about 5 graduates who will complete the memorization of the Quran this soon, inshallah, this year. We had the family barbecue, which was a great event, mashallah. About more than 500 people showed up, had a great time, and enjoyed a day out in the park. We had many adult courses, 11 adult courses offered by the Imam and Ustadha Fatima. And alhamdulillah, those were very successful and increasingly becoming very popular. And we appreciate the Imam's effort and Ustadha Fatima for continuing to offer this important element of our learning about our deen and being close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We had several suhbah series with guest speakers, including Sheikh Yasser, most of them, and we had other speakers as well. We have 4 clubs ongoing: the Iqra Toddler Club, the Foundation of Faith, and the Service Club. we started the Care Club, and that has been an amazing success and amazing vehicle for our community members to be able to help each other out. When somebody is sick or somebody is in need, to be able, even especially with the COVID-19 issue, we've had a lot of members who needed some delivery of groceries or certain needs or certain chores they couldn't do, and the Care Club helped out and jumped in and helped our brothers and sisters. If we can go to the next slide, please. We had the estate planning workshop, which was also an amazing event. Alhamdulillah, more than 200 folks joined in, just to help us plan, and write the will and so forth, and those related issues. We had a beautiful gala with keynote speaker Sheikh Omar Suleiman. We kicked off the Vision 19, and while we are at that, I'll give you a very quick update on Vision 19. Alhamdulillah, the project was about trying to find a facility that is going to accommodate our needs, our community's needs for many, many generations to come. The project is still ongoing. It's not necessarily going to be at the site that we originally had planned, but the search committee is still out there searching. The community is totally engaged, and we have, alhamdulillah, commitments and pledges of more than $800,000 from the community, and much of it has been actualized actually, and folks have already sent in their pledges, most of them. So alhamdulillah, inshallah, as soon as we have a final solution for the facility that is going to serve for the next few generations, we will definitely keep everybody updated and get your feedback on that. ISP and QSP extended to Saturday and Sunday, and we had, which is the weekend school program for Quranic and Islamic studies, and the QSP after school is going strong and now continues to operate online. The Zakah, and we had the summer program actually, which is not listed here. We didn't list every single program, but I'm just giving a quick highlight. We had the Zakah and Sadaqah distribution, which is the fund, social fund, which we keep separate from our operational fund, and we make sure that it goes to the needy and the poor. And we have established some partnerships with the Yaqeen and other organizations as well. So these are quick highlights, and many other things happened this year, but this gives, if somebody is not as familiar with RCM, it gives you a quick idea of the kind of things that we get engaged in. What does it mean to be part of RCM? What kind of opportunities are there to be part of? All right, and the new initiatives. We have a few new things that we wanted to implement, but really the important part of this conversation is for you guys to send us your ideas and share your ideas before we finalize plans for next year. So I'm going to throw out some of the ideas that have come up so far. And again, these are ideas at this point, and we're going to work many of them in the annual plan for next year. And all of these will be in addition to all the lists that you've seen that happened last year. Of course, some of the events we may not be able to do in the same format that we did in the past, like, for example, the family barbecue. Alhamdulillah, it was a beautiful event, but I doubt that anytime soon we'll be able to replicate that. But our job is to really to come up with other ways where we can facilitate this community togetherness and community events, and to enjoy these kind of events. So we'll have to come up with the creative ways to do these events. So what's important to do this year as an organization, as we mature as an organization, is to create a new work platform, electronic new platform, new database, so that we are operating very systematically and we're not relying on one particular individual or person, but we have a system that everybody uses to get the work done, inshallah. So that requires us to be, or gives us the opportunity to make decisions for programming based on needs, actual needs in the community, which means we're going to be going out to you and doing some surveys and collecting some data so that we can better understand our community and better understand the needs in the community, so that we can design programs that are specific to our needs, rather than just do generic programs and see, who's going to show up. We're going to be designing programs based on data that is real data within our community. And to do that, we have to collect a lot of data from our community members. So look out for some surveys that are going to be coming your way over the next 2 or 3 months. We're going to be collecting data and asking for people to participate so that we better understand your need and serve you better. And of course, we learned some big lessons during this COVID-19 crisis, that virtual programming has to be stronger. And this has become our focus in many ways. You've seen almost all of our courses have gone online. For the weekend school next semester, as many of you have heard already, Fulton County has announced that they're going to be 100% online for the fall semester. We'll probably follow suit and we'll probably do the same. We may be able to be successful in creating some group activities, but honestly, I doubt it. Depending on what the data is looking like, we want to make sure we're protecting our kids and our families. So whatever we do, it has to be in consultation with our health officials. But the majority of our programs, if not all, this semester are going to be online. So we're going to invest in creating more capacity in delivering quality virtual programming. One community, one Juma. So even though, like the Imam mentioned, we're going to be scaling back over the, by next week to one Juma, that doesn't mean that we cannot all be part of the Juma. So, the challenge for all of us to take, the khutbah is only 10 minutes and the salah is 5 minutes, to take these 15 minutes, regardless of where we are, regardless of how busy we are during our day, take these 15 minutes and tune in online. So we're all listening to the same message as one community, and we all have the same level of unity and togetherness, even though we cannot be together. So these are the type of things. It's a change of mindset. It's not only about changing the technology and the platform, but also changing our mindset on how to expect to receive and benefit from programming that's available. We also would like to bring back the chai chats or something similar, some type of community evening event, maybe where everybody can participate, and we can have some portion of it to be a discussion, maybe, but also among a couple of experts, maybe, but also bring in or give everybody in the community the opportunity to interact and give their feedback and have a kind of online communal discussion. So with the shifting of our programming and with the shifting of our work platform comes the fact that there's going to be a lot less traffic on the property. And as you all know, the funding for RCM, just like any masjid, relies on the traffic on the property. The cash box collection relies 100% on how many people come into the building. the programming that we are used to, which we normally collect fees to pay for the expenses of the programming. That's also a vulnerable revenue source. So the only reliable revenue source to sustain our nonprofits in general, and specifically the Masajid, is really to become sustaining sponsors. And alhamdulillah, we have a number of sustaining sponsors at RCM, but it's nowhere near the number of families that are really participate and are part of our community. So we would love for every family that is part of the community to become a sustaining sponsor, so that there is a monthly donation, regardless of the amount, whatever is comfortable for them. That's really the best way to kind of make sure that our programming continues, and our togetherness and our having this community center is intact, is to increase or change the donation model into a sustaining sponsorship type of model. These are the 4 areas we want to focus on. Again, it's just thought starters for the sake of this conversation. Would love to hear from everybody, whether you want to type in your feedback on YouTube or Facebook. We both can read either one, and we can answer questions, or share your ideas. We can read them out loud.
So we did have one question earlier, and that was about which Juma session are we going to keep from next week? And just for everyone's benefit, that'll be the 1:45 to 2 p.m. session, inshallah. The 1:45 to 2 p.m. session is the one that we're going to keep for now. It'll still just be 15 minutes, inshallah. And as Brother Maher mentioned, it's a great opportunity for everyone, our community, to come together, focus on one message, and really be a part of the spirit of Jum'ah, inshallah, as much as we possibly can. But to think of it as, again, an opportunity to log on virtually for those that won't be accommodated on site, and still be able to benefit from the khutbah, from the message, inshallah, and keep that spiritual growth going, inshallah ta'ala.
Inshallah. And just a reminder for all, the more we follow the protocol, the more that we are careful, especially during after the salah. If we are kind and orderly in our dismissal process, meaning we leave one row at a time closest to the door, avoid congregation, avoid being in close proximity of others. I know it's uncomfortable, and I know it's not what we're used to in coming to the masjid, but it is a necessary thing right now. And this is, again, these are the kind of protocols that will help us sustain, having some services on site. So please be mindful of the protocols, and we appreciate it. It's been amazingly orderly, alhamdulillah, and we just want to continue that, and we want to keep in mind the 3 big things, the sanitizing the hands or washing the hands frequently, using the mask 100% of the time we're on site, and keeping the social distancing, keeping the 6-foot minimum distance between you and others. So if we follow these things, inshallah, we can continue to operate. Yes, sir.
We have a couple of one question, one idea. The question is Sheikh Yasser Birjas still on with RCM once a month? And if yes, is there a way to do a virtual presentation with him?
He is definitely available. We really miss him. We really, just like we miss each other. And actually, I personally keep in touch with him. He would love to do something with us. Let's show the numbers honestly in our sessions, in our weekly sessions, meaning, I would love to invite him, and I'd love to see 200 and 300 people tuning in online to benefit from that session. So inshallah, we will organize something, maybe after Eid, maybe with with the school starting. It'll be a good topic for us to have a good discussion with him and benefit from his knowledge, inshallah. So inshallah, it'll be coming up maybe in August or September.
Inshallah. Brother Riyadh shared an idea. He said, one idea comes to mind, a live RCM radio show hosted by Ustada and Imam. What do you think, Brother Mar? That sounds pretty interesting.
I love it.
I think I have the radio voice. I don't know.
Yeah. Cool. I'm all for it, man.
MashaAllah. We just got to get Ustada on board.
No problem. I'm sure she'll make herself available.
Alhamdulillah. All right, Brother Imad wants to thank the RCM leadership for the amazing way it's been handling the crisis, and just to comment on that, mashallah, Brother Maher shared the names of everybody that's involved at the top level here at RCM, the 9 members of our board, your 6 members of your staff, and then again the countless mashallah members on our volunteer, including mashallah our security team that still comes to the Juma services and still providing security. Alhamdulillah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless and protect them. So there's a lot of people, alhamdulillah, and again, the congregation itself, the community itself has been extremely cooperative, and it goes such a long way in ensuring that we're all, pitching in to take care of each other. So we want to thank the community for being extremely cooperative with us, especially during the Juma time. And so Jazakumullah khairan for that, inshallah.
Yeah, I totally agree, Imam. SubhanAllah, when we were gathering the protocols and learning from the experts to write down the protocols that we need to follow, there was a lot of folks that said, there's no way you'll get our community to follow this. This is too much. But alhamdulillah, our community always steps up and proves everybody wrong. And then alhamdulillah, we're very proud to be, and I'm personally very humbled to be part of this community.
We got one more question here. Oops. Okay, so it was the virtual QSP and ISP. Is that going to be what we're looking at, and what will be the length of classes? There's a concern about screen time for the kids. So what are we doing with QSP and ISP, inshallah?
Right. So actually, the team is meeting tomorrow to kind of build, things around those specifics. It's likely to be around no more than 90 minutes, and it'll be multiple sessions. So they'll have some breaks, and we'll also will be interjecting some activities, some hands-on things, and some things they can do in between sessions and participate in, so that it'll be, we'll put in as much participation as possible. But we recognize that kids may not want to be on the screen as long as they are on site, for 3-4 hours programming. Normally we have run the summer program virtually, and it was limited to 90 minutes on the screen, and I think it went very well.
Alhamdulillah. If any of you guys have any more questions, please do ask. All right. I don't see any more questions or comments popping up on Facebook. I guess we got it.
All right, awesome. That's good. I'm sure folks will think of ideas of things, additional services we can do, additional programming ideas on not only what we do but how we do it. Please feel free to email me or email the Imam or reach out to us if you see us at Juma or Aisha or Fajr Salah. Additionally, please remember us in your dua. Remember RCM. RCM is really, community is our middle name. and we have an amazing community, and may Allah keep it strong. And we really ask for your continued support. These are difficult times for a lot of people. There are difficult times also for the nonprofits, including the masajid, because, like I mentioned, our funding model has been completely shifted. And so I ask everybody to continue with your support and to increase it, to your capacity. And may Allah reward you all for your continued support. We've never had, every time we ask the community to support, they step up. And this is one of those times where it is unfortunate, and it is unfortunate that we are having to switch a lot of our mode of operation. We're having to be creative on some how we deliver services and programs. But we're committed to do quality work, and we're committed to be here for the community. We're committed. Alhamdulillah, I know that Imam was part of the group that overseeing the zakat distribution and sadaqah distribution. There's been so many cases in the community where we were called on to help, whether it's folks who lost their jobs or folks struggling with health issues. So alhamdulillah, the masjid is part of a real community and sort of touching real people. And it's really important we continue to support each other through it.
So there's one more question that popped up privately, and it was with people you just mentioned right now, with people losing jobs. Can we do surveys and see how many of our people can actually join our online services and activities versus people that are maybe no longer able to access those?
Right. Yeah, that is a really difficult issue, since even the libraries are not as accessible as they once were. Sure, we can definitely add it in our surveys. The issue is our surveys, also are going to go out electronically. So we hope people are able to reach us and in one way or another, whether electronically or if they come in the masjid during the services. And that's really why I feel like, regardless of how much we do virtually, it's really important to have physical presence so that people can have some access to services in the masjid, in cases where nothing else works.
Inshallah. All right. I think I haven't received any more questions. We should be good.
All right. Well, Imam, I appreciate your feedback and your inputs, and alhamdulillah, again, I'm so proud to be part of the group that's working with the RCM, and it's really important for us to have candid feedback. We don't only want to hear the good things. Also, feel free to give us some critical feedback, help us get better. That's really our goal. So please email us or text or reach out to us when we're on the property. Love to hear from you.
Right. Sounds good. Jazakumullah khair to everybody. Thank you for joining us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us to do the best that we can with our time and our circumstance. And may Allah Azza wa Jalla remove this trial from us soon. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give shifa to all of those that are afflicted from our community, from outside our community. Remove this pandemic from the world, inshallah, and allow us to be moving forward in more positive ways, closer to Him spiritually than ever before. Jazakumullah khair, everybody, for joining us. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. As always, any other information you need, you can email Brother Maher, myself. Our information is available on our website as well. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.